by. Let's go up to Darren Flindell.
Righto, Greg. Well, I think with the blinkers going on spin today, there's some chance he might be able to turn the favourite over, Written By. I just sensed when he made that run up the fence last time, he was lacking a little bit of concentration, so the blinkers may well do the trick. At the odd spin to beat Written By. Legislation, I liked his trial. I think he will be improving today. And number 11, Virtual Insanity. The run down the straight at Flemington was pretty impressive. I think he can nick a place, but I'm with spin.
Mounting Out brought to you by Harvey Norman. Need advice? They're there to help. Duff, we start with Written By, Graham Begg and Jordan Childs.
Yeah, well, there's 3 weeks since that dominant win in the Blue Diamonds. All his stats are strong. He's won at the distance. He likes it wet, dry, great racing style, well drawn. Look, we just can't wait to see what he can do on the track here today in Sydney.
I was really looking forward to seeing this guy and how he paraded. He's pretty eager to get on with the job at hand. I can't give you any comparisons because I haven't seen him before, but he's certainly feeling well. He's ready to get on with the job and he's walking out really strongly. So overall, I think it's a good parade.
Two Ragged Rascal, Paul Perry and Stephen Baster.
Set of blinkers on today, just fair last week. That was a first up there. He backs up quickly, but I'd suggest he needs too much improvement.
Look, this is a lot tougher, Ronnie, but he's certainly taken the improvement that he needed to just to be at his peak fitness. He's tightened up nicely through the midsection. He's a very sensible type of horse, so that will hold him in good stead.
Sandbar, number 3, Christian Reith for Brad Widdup.
He hasn't done too much wrong. He found a little trouble and wasn't far off last week. I think they're going to be a little bit more aggressive with him today. He's a fit horse with a nice will to win.
Look, he's a very much a workman type of appearance. It doesn't jump out at you at all. He's just a really nice, well put together horse who's not really doing too much wrong when he's racing. He hasn't taken a step backwards, but I still don't think he's quite up to these guys.
Number 4 is Legislation. Corey Brown rides for the Snowdens.
Yeah, 2 months off in a trial, running second. He's a strong type, and look, he's well drawn here. I can't say no.
Yeah, he's the one that certainly parades quite nicely. He's matured well from last preparation, and he's got that great shine to his coat, which means he's very healthy. He'll take improvement from today.
Spin, Karen McAvoy for Peter and Paul Snowden.
Winkers off, blinkers on. Hard to look. Had to duck back to the worst part of the track there first up. I thought there was merit in the performance. He maps better here, and I think he's in the finish somewhere.
He was always going to take improvement from his last start at Randwick. He's done that. He's got the blinkers on, as Ronnie was saying, and he's also handling everything well. So above all, he's a big improver, and he's certainly the most favoured Snowden horse, so you have to take note.
Now we go to Zeus, number 6, Glyn Schofield for Chris Waller.
He's a good-looking horse, this. He's a really nice horse. Not sure if he was suited leading last start. Back at home here, he'll have some supporters.
He's one of the best-looking horses in the field. He's got a great attitude as well. He's got a really intelligent head. He walks so loosely and supplely. These might be a little bit sharp for him. He might be better over longer trips in the future.
Irukandji, number 7, Brenton Avdulla rides for Team Hawks.
Yeah, he's a nice enough horse as well. He fought on okay first up there at Flemington, although the winner was beaten in the Adelaide Magic Millions on Monday. Look, I'm not sure how that Flemington form fits in here.
Yeah, he's a lovely type. I haven't seen him before. I think he parades as well as he would have done last start. I've got no comparison to base it on, but as a type, he's a nice type and he's sensible and he's fit.
The 8 is Ring-a-Ding-Ding. Jason Collett rides for Ed O'Rourke.
I was taken with his midweek Rosehill win here at his debut. I know he's got a lot has got to go right for him from that outside barrier, but I'm not underselling him here. I think he's a good colt.
Yeah, he's not a bad type either. He's got the 2 handlers just to keep him nice and relaxed. He does carry a little bit of weight in his midsection, which he can do. Overall, I think it's not a bad parade from a horse that's certainly emerging.
Number 10 is Toulouse, Tim Clark, David Payne.
Yeah, just keep an eye on him. I want to be on him the first time he hits a mile.
Yeah, he's just got a mile ridden all over him. He's a very much a horse physically who is a lot longer in appearance and looks like he will get over a lot further in time.
Virtual Insanity for Hayes Dabernig, Blake Shin.
Yeah, looked a little unlucky charging home late in that race at Flemington. Yeah, look, hard to line up again, that form, but obviously the stable's got an opinion of him.
Geez, he's a sharp type. He's very powerful through the hindquarters. He's got a good shoulder on him, and he's an out-and-out 2-year-old in his physical appearance.
Vega 1, John Thompson, Michael D.
Yeah, he's got nice talent, this horse. He's been hitting the line well. I don't think he's 100 to 1 chance.
parades well. He's a big horse. He's another one of these horses that is going to get better as the races get longer.
Chabris number 13, Josh Parr, another one for Peter and Paul Snowden.
Yeah, I like this colt as well. He was well fancied, did plenty wrong behind Ring-a-Ding-Ding at his debut. A brilliant trial, going straight as a die since then, and he's a sharp type.
Yeah, nothing wrong with this guy's appearance. He's turned out impeccably. I didn't see him first up, but just looking at him today, you'd have to give him a chance.
And by the American stallion Tappet, Mandalong Tappet. Jay Ford for Gary Nixon.
Yeah, I think he's going to make a very, very good 3-year-old, this bloke. Just work in progress at this stage, though.
Yeah, look, there's others I do prefer. I think he's turned out well. Even at his peak fitness, I think he'd struggle against these types.
All right, that's a look at the runners for the Pago Pago as they head out. Let's hear from Ed O'Rourke, who's got Ring-a-Ding-Ding coming out of that Wednesday race right here at Rosehill, Lizzie.
Yeah, that's right, Greg. You have Ring-a-Ding-Ding heading out of the Rosehill race here a few weeks ago. How's he pulled up after that?
Yeah, he's come on nice, you know. He just lost a bit of weight. That's why we opted to miss the Todman and come here. He's done well in the last few weeks, so I'm really happy with him. But it's going to be a tough ask from the barrier today.
What in mind with the barrier? Where do you expect him to be placed?
I just said to Jason, just right as he finds a slot in, get some cover and just go from there. So with that gate, you can't tell him how to ride him. You just have to leave it up to him.
What would be the end goal with this guy? Would it be a slipper if you can get into it?
He'd have to win very well to go to a slipper, but I'd say more Sire Champagne type of horse. And we go from there. But just try to get today out of the way first, and we'll think about that after it.
Best of luck.
Thanks, Lizzie. Bye.
Late mail here. He's 185 and 13. I'm staying with Written By here. Look, I don't think he's unbeatable, and he's $1.80. I think he's short enough. He's, we know Sunlight's the stepping the mark here, and it's his first run in Sydney. And although he's top pick, I'm not sure he's $1.80 chance. I think Ring-a-Ding-Ding with any luck will savage the line here. Spin will go much better than he did first up there, and look out, Chabris doesn't do something here as well. I think he's a very sharp colt. 185 and 13.
Lizzie, what took your eye?
I'm with Chabris. I thought this horse paraded really nicely, very sharp in appearance. He's got everything in the right places, and he's just a horse that is a progressive type. I like to find these types of ones that really seem to make improvement each run. So I'm with Chabris on top. Obviously, the Blue Diamond winner, Written By, is a lovely looking type. He's just a little bit new today, but I think he's a horse, obviously, that everyone really excited to see how he goes. But Chabris on top for me, Greg.
Okay, before we go to Bernie, let's get a market update with Glenn Munsey. Is Written By, well, it's obviously not as popular as Sunlight, Glenn, the amount of bets you took on her, but how popular is this favourite for the Pago Pago?
Well, still very popular, Greg, and just working out what's happened today, he's roughly half went on to Sunlight today is on Written By today, and he's into 175 now. He did touch $2 this morning for a little bit. Spin, the only other runner under double figures, the 5, who was 5.50 into 5, has gone back to 6. Chabris has been a steady trim. It's now $10.
Okay, Glenn, we'll come back to you. Bernie's over there behind the gates with Jordan Childs.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. Jordan and I were just discussing his little antics. He's got this horse. Sometimes he just doesn't, not too keen to load, Jordan.
Yeah, the early doors he was. He's gotten a lot better the more racing he's had, but he goes first in, so it sort of just gets him out of the way nice and early.
Yeah, he's nice and short here today, obviously deservingly so. Is he his normal self, do you think?
Yeah, he is. He looks great, and he galloped good during the week, so hopefully he runs well.
Great to see you in town. Good luck.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right, yeah, Duff, just add further to that.
Yeah, look, he's had warnings, this horse, at the barrier. He's had to go back and be re-educated going into the barrier. I don't think he's any problem once he goes in. So all eyes are on him to make sure that he loads. So there was at some stage of his career a moment where he wouldn't go in.
Okay, we've got a barrier camera over there. We'll keep a close eye on him as they get set. Jordan's out of the saddle. Glenn, back to you with a further market update.
Okay, Greg, as we said there, he was 175 Written By, still there. Spin, 5.50 into 5, back to 6. Chabris is back out to $11, and that's off a high of 16. Got into 10, has gone back to 11. Sandbar and Zusain to be ridden quieter today. Both $17 chances out from 13. And then you've got Ring-a-Ding-Ding 23, Legislation, Virtual Insanity 26. To lose. Now, it's a little bit of a firm to lose into $31. Just noticing the NOP is 61 into 31 as well. So I take note of that. Irakanji 51, Rugged Rascals 61, Vega 1 101, Mandalong Tappet 151. But 175 favourite here, the current third favourite for the Golden Slipper in Written By, a $7 chance behind Sunlight 350 and Performer at 6.
And obviously, whoever re-educated that horse at the barrier has done a sensational job. They just jumped straight off him, put the lead on him, and he walked straight up, first horse in. So no more issues there with this favourite Written By.
Sandbar going in. And we're about to see Virtual Insanity up from Melbourne, making its Sydney debut. Ragged Rascal is over behind the gates. Interestingly, Paul Perry has started all of his star 2-year-olds in this race. He won it with Stratum in 05, he ran second with Fastnet Rock in 04, and he ran second with Schwarzschild in 02. The best 3 colts he trained all went through the Pago Pago.
Yeah, that's interesting. And he's on a quick backup with blinkers, and I see Bastra had a set of spurs on there, so maybe a little bit of intent to go forward with him today as well.
Last horse to win the Pago Pago Golden Slipper double was Stratum in 05. And before that it was Rory's Jester. Okay, here's Darren for race 4.
Eric Andrews right. And Ring-a-Ding-Ding will be the last to go forward. Just buzzing up a bit behind the gates there, and he's on the back foot at the moment, so some of the attendants here just running alongside to coax him straight up into the gates now. Ring-a-Ding-Ding. The Blue Diamond winner, Written By, is the $1.70 favourite. He's been very well backed, and we're all set now. Ready for the Pago Pago, and they're off and racing now. Legislation jumped only fairly off the inside, and Spin's going to settle out the back. Sharp Breed and Written By, the first two into stride from Sandbar third. Zusain's caught deep on the outside of Toulouse. Legislation and Spin is starting to muster up to midfield. Then Virtual Insanity, Irricandry the outside. Ragged Rascal back on the rails. 2 further back to the grey Mandalong Tappet from Vega 1. And Ring-a-Ding-Ding's dropped right back to the tail of the field. It's the favourite in front, Written By, steady by Jordan Childs, a bit keen in the lead from Sharp Breed on the outside. Sandbar leaders back third, then Zusain from Legislation, Spin, and a deeper out is Toulouse. Further back to Irricandry, Ragged Rascal the fence, Virtual Insanity in a tricky spot, and Vega 1 heads the rest. Written By leads the fence, Sandbar 3/4 away on the rails, then Shabreed the outside, Legislation into the clear, and further back to Spin down to the 250 now. Written By really being pushed along. Sandbar's giving the favourite a bit of a scare. They're well clear of the rest. It's Written By a neck in front to Sandbar. Written By keeps on kicking. Written By in front, 50 metres to go, and he remains unbeaten. Written By from a very brave Sandbar. Many lengths away to Spin third, then Sharp-Breed, followed by Irricandry. Zusain, Ring-a-Ding-Ding found the line, then Ragged Rascal, Vega 1, Toulouse, Mandalong Tappet, and a Legislation among the rear enders. What a race.
It was a great race. The Blue Diamond winner prevails, Written By, but full honours to Sandbar, who's run the race of his short career so far, really stretching Written By in the run to the line. He holds on. He couldn't get past Written By, but there's not much in it, about a head to a long head in it when they reach the post. But Written By, Duff, goes to the slipper now in 7 days' time. We've seen 2 two-year-old races. The favourites prevail in both.
Wow, and he's run half a second quicker than the filly as well, so he'll get a lot of support out of that. It was a similar type win. They both went out hard. He's quickened down strongly. He's really laid his cards on the table for the slipper running that time. Same day, better half a second quicker than the slipper favourite. Great racing style. The second horse was terrific in defeat. There's a margin to third there, so I think they'll be cock-a-hoop. All he's got to do is reproduce next week, and he's another live wire chance for the Golden Slipper.
Now let's go to Jordan Childs. He's won a Blue Diamond. Can he win a Golden Slipper? He's Written By. Here he is with Bernie.
Well, it must be a massive thrill to be riding this horse coming into the slipper. But first, let's deal with today. He was his usual self pre-race. He stood in the barriers beautifully for you. He's led and won. Challenged there at one stage.
Yeah, he was. He's a real athlete of a horse. Jumps out of the barriers well, puts himself in the race. He just probably struggled a little bit going the opposite way, but it should put him in good stead for next week.
That's the thing. It's all learning for him each time, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, young horse, and he's still learning, and he's got a lot of ability there. So it's good to see him doing the right things, and I think today will really bring him on.
You've won a Blue Diamond. It could be a slipper yet.
Well, that's the plan. So let's hope so.
Dad must be cheering.
Yep, he will be.
All right, enjoy the win.
Thank you.
All right, well, Graham Begg, who's back in Sydney, holding court with the media. Nice coming home present, Graham. Well done.
Yeah, it's always good to come home and win a race, and he's all quality, this little bloke, and he never knows how to sit down.
What did you like about him most today?
Oh, look, he's got a little bit of improvement in him. He had a pretty soft week in relative the way we normally train him, because he's a tough little guy. He never leaves a note at any stage. Sometimes we've got to work him on race day and do a little bit with him. So, there's certainly a little bit more to come for next week.
And looking at it today, obviously he's got more out of today than he would have got out of that trial that you'd planned.
Yeah, no doubt about that. The second horse gave him a good race, and it's a pretty fair horse. Obviously, they've run good time. We just said to Geordie, try to give him as easy as time as possible. But, the horse is a very, very talented horse,
You've got a good 7 days ahead of you.
Yeah, well, at least he can have a very easy week the next 7 days, and we don't have to do much with him, and just cool his heels a bit.
Cool your own too.
Well, I've got to go back tonight and go back to work at Mornington, but anyway, we'll be back on Monday.
Good to see you here, Graham. Well done. Written by wins the Pago Pago. Okay, great to see Neville here too. Neville's here with the family. Come over, Nev. Well done. Congratulations. That was really good stuff.
Well, it was nice. The horse was a great little try, and he had to point out all his reserves. It was a bit of a battle, but he fought on very strongly, and I was very pleased with him myself. First time this way of going, the big thing to come from the other way of going to Rosehill and come along and win first go. But I was delighted.
He's exciting. Good luck next week.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Neville. Neville Begg, the legendary Neville Begg, who finally made his way into the Hall of Fame not so long ago, and deservedly so. Let's go to the Gold Coast. More to come from Rosehill, including a Group 1 Coolmore Classic later in the day.
Waiters through now. Waiters right on the fourth on the 1, 3, 5 and 13, a half neck by 3 3/4 the margin. Time 1:10.22, half a second quicker than the fillies, and 34.39 is going to be a second quicker home than the fillies. Great Waiters.
We hope you're enjoying the day out here, ladies and gentlemen. The first day of the Longines Golden Slipper Carnival. You've just witnessed the running of the Group 3 $175,000 Cafe Culture and In Situ Pago Pago Stakes. Won today by ridden by Jordan Childs for trainer Graham Begg. Cafe Culture and In Situ represents a range of world-class local and international designer brands, providing a comprehensive selection of authentic, contemporary furniture, lighting and custom design solutions right across Australia. With 20 years of experience, Cafe Culture and In Situ has been providing architects and designers with quality products and service, contributing to some of the most exciting and innovative projects in Australia across the commercial, hospitality, educational, retail and residential market, and in particular right here at Rosehill Gardens as the official furniture supplier. Cafe Culture and In Situ is represented across Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane with networks in other states. I'm pleased joining today is the Head of Projects and Client Relations at Cafe Culture and In Situ, Charlotte Earle, and from the Australian Turf Club I'd also like to welcome Director Matthew McGrath. It's my pleasure to now call Charlotte forward to present the trophy to Mr. Neville Begg on behalf of the Winning Connections. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes the presentation on behalf of Cafe Culture and In Situ. We thank you very much for your attention. And once again, we extend our congratulations to the Winning Connections of Written By.